Well, hello there. How are we all doing? Welcome to my kitchen. I've had a bit of a change of scenery because we're having to rejig a few things around, so forgive me for moving. Well, I took a week off last week because I didn't go to Bradford, and I thought it was unfair for me to comment on something I didn't go to. I did watch Tuesday's draw with Colchester on the iFollow. Decent game, I thought. Rovers controlled it for a good period. And then yesterday came about. And I was having a nice week off work, got some things done, went a few places, all nice, and then Rovers fucking ruined it. Um, I just felt we regressed to the Orient game, and I thought that was a real chance to kick on. And I was naive, I was stupid, and I was young, and I thought Rovers would kick on after a couple of good draws. Less so maybe against Colchester, but I thought Rovers could kick on. I thought we were looking to turn the tide. I thought we didn't look too bad, certainly against Colchester. It wasn't the result we were looking for, I think, especially after controlling the game for so long. But I thought we did all right. I thought we looked okay. And Saturday, we just went into our shell. I think there are certain players in that team who should be performing better. I think Nickerson was missing yesterday. Was he really given the service out wide? No, he wasn't. But I thought he was a passenger, if I'm honest, yesterday. Thomas, I thought was good. He didn't have his shooting boots on, but he kind of had his left foot on his right, and vice versa. But did okay. He did all right. I've been more excited by Thomas than I have been by Nickerson this season. I know they both come back from injuries. I know they're both not properly fit. But I've seen more excitement in Thomas so far than I have Nickerson. I think Anthony Evans was one of the few players in the second half who were trying to move and try and make things happen. I could see it. I was in the north end, so I could see he was trying to move. He was trying to make things happen, and he wasn't getting the ball. That's not on him. He's certainly the best set piece taker we've got. His balls into the box. They might not always hit one of our players' heads, but they're a dangerous ball into the box. And at least that's something that could not be said for Westbrook with his set pieces last year. I just thought we looked like a team we never played together again. I'm not going to single out individuals here, but I am going to talk about some players who I do think played to their strengths. Forgive me, I don't know what Dexter's doing. It's food bowls down there. I'm not going to sit the blame on certain players, but I am going to mention a few players because they, I think, were part of the reasons why we didn't get the 3 points yesterday or even a point. I thought Nick Anderton looks like a liability at centre half. I'm not saying he was a direct responsibility for any of the goals yesterday, but he makes the back line look uncomfortable, nervous. Don't instill any confidence in me. Don't instill any confidence, I don't think, in the players next to him. I said after 15 minutes, I'd rather Luca Hall played as a right centre half and move the other players across a position. Sorry about that. Dexter was eating. I'm not sure if it would pick up on here. I doubt it would, but yeah, I think Anderton looks completely out of sorts as a left centre half. He's clearly not a left back, which I thought he was. So what position is he? Because with a back three or back five, your defence is quite narrow, so you can play with one holding midfielder if you choose to. And Glenn Whelan on Tuesday did that job very, very well. But because I think Anderton was so out of sorts, Glenn Whelan was then dropping back. And then it just made the rest of the team completely upset. Our midfield was too open. There was no real attacking urgency for the majority of the game. We had some good spells for maybe 15, 20 minutes. But a game, you've got to be performing to at least 60 or 70 minutes. You've got to dominate a game especially at home. This is the fourth home defeat this season in the league now. 3 times we've shifted more than 3 goals at home in the league. And it is simply just not good enough. I like Belshaw. He was at fault for the second goal yesterday, even after his misplaced goal kick. By the way, I don't have a foggiest clue what we're doing from the goal kicks at the moment. We're just getting Taylor to pass it to Belshaw to then pass it forward again. It's completely pointless and completely irrelevant, and it's something we need to not do because it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't improve us going forward whatsoever. I like Belshaw, but he was at fault. He even went walkabouts when he was trying to. I don't know what he was doing. His mistake. Look, I'm more fair on goalkeepers than others. Even though Joe Day last season wasn't great, I don't think he was a disaster like some people made him out to be. And I thought we had a good game for Newport yesterday, if I'm honest with you. And Newport looked. I think what made it worse is that Newport looked really average. And I think we made Newport look good. It wasn't like, I think, when we lost to Swindon, where Swindon were a good team. And you can see why they're up there. I know they lost yesterday, but every good team has a blip. And I think it's just a blip for Swindon. I think they'll get in the top 7, no problem. As for Rovers, at the moment, I'm not writing the season off. I don't think you can do that before you're in November. However, I've seen nothing to suggest that Rovers will finish higher than 13th, 14th. I'm being honest with you. I just cannot see it. I think Rovers' form over the last 5 games is pretty much going to pattern itself for the rest of the season. Sort of 4, 5, 6 points out of 15. I think that's Rovers. That's how we're going to be throughout the rest of the season. Sort of lower mid-table mediocrity. I'm not worried about going down, although we're now only 3 points above the relegation zone again. I think we're something like 6 points off the playoffs already. I mean, a lot of people. I was speaking to someone in the bar yesterday, and they said about Bolton last season, which is a fair point. But Bolton and Rovers, it's a bit of a difference in that. And the point was made about 2007. Now we made a slow start, which is true, but we weren't shifting goals like we were this season. That season in 07, even though Walker finished scoring 20 odd goals, although I think only about 14 or 15 of them were in the league, we only finished with about a +4 goal difference that year because we just didn't concede many. So if you don't concede many, you don't have to score many. And that's the key difference that I see this season, is that we cannot stop conceding goals. We leak goals like a sieve. We should be called the Rovers colander with how much we leak goals. And we just look like a team of strangers out there. And throughout all of this, I've been 7.5 minutes now, and I haven't mentioned the worldie that was scored by Brett Pittman. And as I said on Twitter, on another time in another place, Dad had brought the house down. He didn't even look at the goal. Didn't even look at it. He just knew where it was. Bang. No keeper would have saved that. So, and I said this in the bar after, I think Bretman's tendon issue or the ligament issue he was having in his ankle, I think that may have resolved because he went out for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure, because he looks fitter. He does look fitter than when he first came here. He's looking more mobile. I dare say a little bit quicker. But he looks fitter than what he was 5 or 6 weeks ago. So that's the only real kind of credibility I think anyone can take from the game. And then we look at the substitutions. Okay, Paul Coops came on. Trying to tighten up the midfield, I guess. When Coops came on, I went off and disappeared for 5 minutes. Fine, watching this stuff. And no disrespect to Paul Coops, but I don't think he brings anything to the team. I feel a bit sorry for Aaron Collins because I don't see a position for him. I don't know if he's a striker. I don't know if he's a right midfielder. I don't think he's built to be a number 10. I don't know what position he is. Is he to play off a striker? I don't know. So Aaron Collins is a weird one for me. Don't really kind of see where he fits in. But then I don't really see anyone who I'd pick instead of, apart from Harvey Saunders. That's about it. Our only striking options are Pittman, Saunders and Collins. That's it. That's all we've got, unless we start bringing in the youngsters. But is this the right time? But then when is a good time? Because it wasn't a good time last season in the relegation fight, but that's all we had. And now this season, at the moment, fingers crossed, we're not going down again. We're not really showing any signs of progressing up the division. So why not give him a go? I'm not saying to chuck him in next weekend, but give him 10, 15, 20 minutes here and there. And if they can nip a goal in some of their cameo appearances, then see how they get on. The only way these players are going to get experience is by playing them. And I'm sorry, but you're telling me that no one in the academy, the development squad, whatever you want to call it, the reserves, whatever it's called these days, up front can be worthy of a spot on the bench. I mean, look at Sean Spence. Scores a last-minute winner against Walsall. We haven't seen him since. What on earth is going on there? just yesterday was just a huge step backwards. And was it a false dawn again? The couple of good results we had, maybe. Who knows? Probably. But I just look at that team, and I just again, I feel like a broken record. They just don't seem to know what on earth they're doing. I'm trying not to swear. I probably swear a few times, but I don't think they know what they're doing. I'm sitting there now, and my eyebrows are looking like Nigel Mansell's fucking tash. I swore again. And I can't exactly one to sort of comment on what things should be and stuff. I'm already one to sort of to criticise, you could say, but I can only comment on what I see in front of me. And that team now, they ain't good enough, and that manager is nowhere near good enough. If he says that Ben Garner would have been struck off as a doctor, then I don't know what Barton would be classed as. I'd probably say something, but probably end up being criticised for it. Barton's pre and post match press conferences seems getting weirder by the week. I've not heard the Carlisle one. It's on like mountains and stuff. I've certainly not heard the one yesterday. Apparently, Rovers put 2 different ones up. I was just off Twitter after yesterday's game. I went out to went to the Sportsman pub after the game. I had a much better evening there for 2 hours than I did watching that in the ground. Apparently, well, I've seen it. Barton made a comment regarding Holocaust regarding the Holocaust or something. He did say it. Completely out of taste, distasteful comment. It's not the first time he's done it since he's come to Rovers. It doesn't offend me personally. It's a very disgusting thing to say, and he should apologise for it. Will he? Of course he won't. But yeah, he shouldn't have said what he said, and he's basically slung one up his own asshole for saying that, basically there. And someone, obviously, everyone knows what happened during the war and so on, and Dexter's time to have a drink again, and as a disabled man, like I said, it doesn't directly offend me. It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, I guess. I mean, look, even if you think that way, you just don't. There's some things you just don't say. We all think certain things that you just wouldn't say, and I think it's just in poor taste. That's just in poor taste. I apologise. Dexter decided to have lunch, and I don't think I can stop him. So if he does pick up on the microphone, I am sorry. But the manager, he just, I think he's losing his mind. I think he's losing his mind. I don't think he has a clue what the team's doing. I don't think he knows. I'm not saying he knows his best team, because I think the team is a bit more settled now. But the signings he's made have been poor. Mark Hughes has barely played. I know he's injured, but he's not been good enough since he's come in. Anderton's not been good enough since he's come in. Coots, accident waiting to happen. Trevor Clark's injury prone. Not Barton's fault, but signing someone who's injury prone, and we just look a mess. We look a mess, and you can play good for 10 or 12 minutes. You've got to play decent for a good hour at least. Did Rovers create enough yesterday? No. Did Newport really create a huge amount of chances? No. Difference is they took their chances, and that's what matters. You could play absolutely piss poor and get it through. Look at Crawley. We were absolutely dreadful against Crawley. We had one chance and we took it. That's all we needed to do yesterday. We didn't take enough chances. So, on to the next week. Harrogate. Am I going to go? Well, I'm thinking about it. I thought it's a new ground. Might as well give it a go. I have another head cold coming. This is the second one in 2 months now. I had it just before I went to Barrow. I thought I had COVID, if I'm honest, even though all my results came back negative. And then the people who I went to Barrow with, 2 of them got COVID after, and I tested negative. So who knows if I had it at Barrow or not. All my results came back negative. Look, I'm just taking what the results said. So who knows? It's probably just another head cold. I've got plenty of cold and flu, and I've got Lidl's or Aldi's Pepsi to keep me going. So I'm going slightly mad, but all in that, I'm not too bad. I'm okay. So I'm going to get on out of here, and hopefully Rovers can turn it around sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's going to be a long season ahead. And yeah, I'll speak to you all very, very soon. If I go to Harrogate next weekend, I'll probably be up here next Sunday. So if I don't speak to you before then, be well and have a good week. And yeah, take care there. Bye bye.